So when will you get your visa interview? In 2024. This is the last update for 2024, and I'll tell you a lot of good information. Exactly when you'll be able to get your visa appointment. I'll tell you exactly how you can do it and what are the steps to find out processing times for visa appointments, how to do expedites, what's happening with National Visa Center, updates to the CAC online system, how to move your appointment from one embassy to another, and more updates that you need to know if you're going through the visa process, if your loved one is overseas and you want to come to the United States. This is the video for you to watch, so make sure you watch this video all the way until the end. Hello friends, thanks for coming back. I'm going to tell you, as I mentioned to you in the beginning of this video, all the updates you need to know about the National Visa Center, processing time, update to the CAC system, also how to be able to determine when exactly you'll get your interview. I'll tell you process, that is a new process, how they determine when you'll get your interview, and I'll tell you exactly how to do it. We'll talk about expedites, we'll talk about how to move your case from one post to another and update the National Visa Center, and also changes to their online system. Everything in this video, I want to make sure you get all the updates. A very, very good video with information to help you end the year with knowledge and peace of mind to move forward to 2025, to know that, again, it's going to be a challenging year, but together we'll stay the course, and I'll keep posting the updates so you know everything you need to know. So let's talk about, first of all, the National Visa Center is celebrating 30 years this month. 30 years in processing visas, in helping applicants move along in the process. And so much has happened in 30 years. Remember, the National Visa Center only has 7 full-time government employees. The rest of their 700 employees that work there are contractors. So 7 full-time actual government employees, and the rest are contractors that keep shuffling around. Huge rotation because it's a high volume, very, very difficult work to go through all these processes, to go through all the forms. Remember, the kind of system that you're dealing with, it's important for you to understand who is behind the National Visa Center. And remember, the role of the National Visa Center is administrative. They don't make any decisions. All they do is process documents that they receive from you, the applicant, documents they receive from USCIS after your case has been approved. And then all they do, they forward these documents to the US embassies for that final interview. Remember, all the inquiries you do with the National Visa Center should be done to the public inquiry form, which is a form on their website. Now, let me give you a little tip. If you want to get urgent attention, now let me give you a little tip. If you want to get immediate attention, if your case is actually urgent, don't use this unless it's urgent. You can put attention supervisor in your public inquiry form and then submit the inquiry with the information for your case. Make sure it is actually an emergency. Make sure it's something important, not just a routine inquiry. If you do that for a routine inquiry, it's going to be more difficult for other people and for you in the future to actually get help when you need it. So if it's urgent, you put attention supervisor. If it's not urgent, just use the public inquiry form to make your inquiry. Now, let's talk about a new thing that we see at the National Visa Center. We see sometimes inside your portal that it says admin processing. Now, this is very different than what happens at the embassy when they send your case to 221G admin processing. This is a new thing that the National Visa started doing, where they check your information, some forms, maybe there's discrepancy. It's nothing to do with the main background check that embassies do. This is an intelligent process. If you see it on your case, don't be alarmed. It's something that they started doing recently, and they will go through this fast. As long as you give them the documents they need, they'll clear you fast and will deem you document complete, which means that your case is ready to go. All you have to do is just wait for that priority date to become current. Now, before we continue with the rest of the updates, and we have a lot of them, we have expedites, we're talking about how to actually determine that your visa is ready for an interview. Before we talk about all the good stuff, I want to make sure that you know that if you're here for the first time, please subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show this video to more people just like you. If you need help with your immigration matter before the end of the year, please send me a text 619-483-4549. We are ready to help you. We are doing a lot of expedites. We are finding a lot of lawsuits against the government. We are filing new cases to make sure we get this done before the end of the year. Use this 619-483-4549 or go to www.immigrationasap.com. Leave your details there, and one of our team members will contact you ASAP. Now, let's go back and talk about the rest of the updates. Now, we have a lot of complaints from you guys, our clients, and many people that follow my channel. CAC technical issues. System doesn't work. You can't log in. It doesn't upload your forms. You can't make the payments. If you see that, use the public info form, let them know about the problem, and they'll fix it. They're determined to solve most of the problems within 30 days, but you have to let them know. Otherwise, they're not going to be familiar with that issue and you're not going to have attention on your case. Now, a common mistake that we see and the National Visa Center reported is that you upload your documents. You can upload it to the CAC system, but you don't click submit. It's not enough just to upload. You have to click submit. Otherwise, the system is not going to receive those documents. Now, some people are not able to click submit because that button is not visible. If that happens, you need to re-upload your document either the next day or refresh the system until you actually can click submit. Because many applicants, they think that because they uploaded the documents, but they forgot to click submit, or you couldn't click submit because the system was an error, it's not enough. Your case is not going to move forward. So keep logging in, keep checking the system. Currently, that error was already fixed, but if it happened to you, log in again, re-upload your documents and click submit. Now, let me give you another tip. When you print your document, print them as Word to PDF and save them as PDF on your computer. And only after you save them as PDF, upload them to the CAC system. That's a huge tip because the system doesn't recognize anything except PDF, right? Tip number 2, when you save your document in your computer, make sure it's saved with .pdf and the name of the file. And the PDF that you save should be in lower caps, not upper caps, lower caps. Because if you save it any other way, the system is not going to accept it apparently. And that's a tip that a lot of our clients reporting. So save it as a PDF. And when you save it as PDF, make sure that the word PDF is the last word at the end of your document. Now let's talk about welcome letters. Remember that the National Visa Center is trying to use as many of the visa numbers as possible in the fiscal year. How can you make sure that you're going to be next in line? As soon as you get that welcome letter, they recommend that you pay the fees. So let's talk about welcome letters. And you know that when you receive a welcome letter from National Visa Center, they recommend if you want to speed up your case, you should pay the fees as soon as you get the welcome letter, even if your priority date is not current. Now, a lot of people are sending me messages and say, hey, why would I pay the filing fees if my date is not current? And here's why. If you do that and you're already inside the system, it will eventually help them expedite your case. So remember, if you do that, you'll have a priority eventually when your dates are current. And all you have to do is log into your system once or twice a year. So they won't close your case knowing that you're still interested in your case. So you get the welcome letter, pay the fees, even if you're not current. Let's talk about post transfer. Many of you are interested in that. They want to know how you can transfer your case from one post to the other. Now that depends on where your case is. If your case is at the National Visa Center, you have to request a transfer via the public inquiry form to the National Visa Center requesting to move your case to a different post. Now, the National Visa Center said that they will consider moving your case to a different post as long as you give them an address in the new country where you want to transfer your case. You don't need to prove residency anymore, just an address. That's enough to be able to move your case. Let's talk about expedite. NVC said that right now they're not processing expedite requests, but they will forward them to the embassy. If the embassy approves the request, then your case will get priority and will be scheduled for an interview. So you can still request the National Visa Center to expedite, but they're not making decisions on expedites. They're just forwarding them to the post that you request. So let's talk about immigrant visa wait times. This is the big thing that I talked about in the beginning of the video, and I wanted to give you that nugget right now. So how do we determine the wait times for the visa interviews? Right now, NVC doesn't have anything like that published. They're working on creating something like that in the future, maybe sometime in 2025. So the National Visa Center said that the only way you can find out about the current status of interviews at a particular post is by filing a congressional inquiry. And that should happen only if you document your complete and your visas are current, right? So for example, let's say you're an F2A, you're documented complete and your dates are current and you still don't have a visa inquiry and you still don't have a visa interview, you can file a congressional assistance in the area where your petitioner resides, and then they will be able to find out where the embassy is at the moment. They'll give them a date and say, yeah, right now we're working on October. In your case is November, so you're just a month away. That is the only way right now that you can find out when you'll get a visa interview, through a congressional assistance, and that's verified. So what's going to happen is that when a congressional assistance inquiry is filed, the NVC will tell the congressperson who makes the inquiry which cases are currently being documented complete. And then in this case, the congressional person will tell so once the inquiry is filed, the congressional assistants will be able to get information as to which cases are currently being processed at this embassy. And that information will be helpful for you, because then you can see if they're telling you right now they're working on October or September, you'll be able to reference that based on what dates your case is currently pending. So it's very helpful to know that, because as you know, right now we do a lot of guessing, we do a lot of estimates based on when the clients are getting interviews. But right now we know that if you're documented complete and you have a visa number that is current, if you can make a congressional inquiry, they should be able to tell you more or less on what cases your embassy is working in the moment. So you'll be able to estimate when your visa interview will be scheduled. This is a new thing that they're doing right now. And this is a new information that we have to pass to you. So you also going to be able to try that. I want you to try that. Again, if you're documented complete and your dates are current, do that inquiry with your congressman in your district, and they should be able to give you an idea on what cases are being processed at your particular embassy. So there you have it. We gave you a lot of information. We talked about NVC expedite. We talked about how to make an inquiry with the NVC using the public inquiry form. We talked about how to move to a different post by requesting NVC to do so, and all you need is a simple address. And finally, we talked about the most important thing is that how will you know when will you get your visa interview? Well, if you document it complete and you have a visa available, you'll be able to do a congressional inquiry, and they should be able to tell you more or less on what cases are being processed at your particular post. Hopefully that's very helpful. And once again, if you need help with your immigration matters, we're here to help before the end of the year. Let's take action. Send me a text 619-483-4549 or go to www.immigrationasap.com and submit your information, and one of our team members will contact you ASAP. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.